Hey everybody, Ed here with the Digital Digest, and today I wanted to share a quick unboxing and first look at the LG G4. This is, of course, the successor to the G3, arguably one of the most innovative and I would say interesting phones of last year, not only because it was the first mobile device to sport a 5.5-inch 2560 by 1440 Quad HD resolution display, setting a standard essentially for the balance of the industry, but also because it did so in a very compact form factor for a 5.5-inch phone. And the G4 looks to build on that. So a lot of, I would say, high expectations for this device. I do have it ahead of release. This has not been launched in the States yet, but it is right around the corner. So a good time to get a look at a phone that, in my opinion, is going to be compelling to many of you, especially those of you interested in the update on the camera as well as the display. So let me go ahead and pop open the box. This is made in Korea, and I'll go over specifications in a moment. You can see the handset still relatively compact for a 5.5-inch display, something that the G3 did an incredible job of. This phone is a little bit longer than the G3 in terms of physical height, but otherwise still does a fantastic job considering it's not bezel-less, a little more bezel than we had previous gen, but this has been, I would say, updated, upgraded in enough ways to make it even more compelling than the G3 of last year. So we've got a new display here. It's an IPS quantum display, essentially LG making the argument that they've improved upon the already great IPS display in the G3 in many different ways. We have better color accuracy, a wider color gamut, color saturation is going to look better, a more vibrant display, something that I think they really needed to do because the flagship devices they compete with, aka Samsung's Galaxy line, specifically the S6, the Edge, even though many of Samsung's flagship devices are more expensive than where the G4 will come in, much like the G3 pricing, they do have Super AMOLED displays, and as great as an IPS screen is, it's still tough or a matter of personal preference. So they wanted to improve upon what already was a new standard they set for the industry. So 5.5 inches, 2560 by 1440, 538 ppi. So some best-in-class pixel density, no question about it. Then in addition to that, you're getting in terms of the operating system out of the box, this is Lollipop version 5.1. Also, in terms of LG's own software, not a huge difference from what we've seen in the past. It is building on the UX platform, but it is the latest version. In terms of the processor, we've got a Qualcomm Snapdragon 808 under the hood, which does promise better battery life than much of the recent chips, the powerhouses that Qualcomm's been cranking out. And this is a new processor for those of you wondering. Clocked at 1.8 gigahertz. It is a 6-core chip, 64-bit. GPU, you're looking at an Adreno 418, 418. So not top tier, but certainly I would say good, definitely right up there, hanging with best in class right now. But remember, best in class, this is a $200 phone on contract, at least when it eventually launches with a 2-year agreement. It supports up to 2 terabytes with regard to a micro SD card. So that's huge. No longer are we seeing the 128 gig. Of course, good luck finding a 2 terabyte, but future proofing it certainly has. You've got a removable battery, which is another nice touch, 32 gigs of internal storage, and 3 gigs of RAM. In terms of cameras, they did not skimp there either. The front-facing camera has been bumped up to 8 megapixels, and the rear camera is rated at 16 megapixels, and supposedly only improved upon. In fact, that's part of the premise of the entire pilot program that I'm part of here, is really to demonstrate what a great camera LG has here. Same laser sight for autofocus, same power button right here, volume rocker, also the ability to take the photo here. So really minimal on very industrial design, I would say. Your micro USB port right here for charging. And even though this phone supports quick charge, the included charger is not a quick charge cable, so you will need to pick that up separately. Also, if you want to do any wireless charging, you'll also have to pick up a separate back. Your all-in-one headphone and microphone jack right there. And pretty much that's it around the body. It is just an incredibly clean design. You can see the pry point right there in order to take the back of the case off, the back of the phone. Up at the top, we have some microphones as well as an IR blaster right there, something that's become fairly standard in the business. Of course, the flash I didn't mention before. And in terms of call quality, your speakerphone grill right there, I expect very similar performance to what we have in the G3, which is a very good thing. So the G3 already, again, one of the best devices last year, so we're only going to be building upon what that had to offer here with the brand new G4. So excited to share with you. Let's see what else is in the box. I mentioned the charging cable, so we've got a micro USB cable right here, standard fare, that you're going to hook up to this wall wart or AC adapter. And again, this is not a quick charge 2.0 certified cable and adapter, so you will want to pick one of those up separately if you want to take advantage of the quick charge capability. And then the 3000 milliamp battery right here, which should get you through a full day's charge, but from what I've been seeing so far, it's, I won't say hit or miss, but maybe there's some more optimization. Granted, we've got 5.1 out of the box. Let me go ahead and crack this open, which again is not difficult. You just have to get to that pry point. Now, a lot of people will wonder why LG has decided to stick with plastic in a world that has heavily shifted towards more substantial build quality, or at least giving the air of more substantial build quality. That's at least what we've seen from Samsung, who responded. You know, here we have the plastic back case, and in many ways I think there are advantages. I mean, lightweight. I love my Note 4, but I kind of miss the G3 and its lightweight, and the G4 also has that with almost the same size display. So you can see right here the back side of the phone once we've got the back cover off. Your SIM card slot as well as micro SD card slot for storage expansion, and of course this is where the battery is, as well as all the serial info, speaker output that you saw before through the grill. I'm going to go ahead and pop the battery in right now and see if this thing boots on. Hopefully it will. Hitting the power button again, that's located on the back, just like the G3 before it. And it doesn't look like this has any juice. So, unless I'm not hitting the button, let's see. Oh no, there we go. And I'll go ahead and snap the back cover on, which is very simple. You just essentially line it up, snap around. Nothing new to any of you that have actually owned a phone like this or a Samsung phone with a replaceable battery in the past. And having that replaceable battery is a big thing, believe it or not. Definitely an advantage. So between the upgraded cameras, of course 4K video capture also with that rear 16 megapixel camera with the laser sight autofocus, and it's also a very fast lens at that, f1.8, not a new thing, but LG really trying to build off what they already have as a successful product in the G3, and everything I see here is good. Does it end up being one of the best phones of 2015? I don't know. I'll have to spend time with it, but there's no question that LG, yet again, in my opinion, has put their best foot forward. You can see we're getting some updates right out of the box, so I'm going to let that run, but that pretty much covers the unboxing. Again, a very impressive phone, something that I think is going to appeal to a lot of people because of its price point, overall feature set. Again, I think there's a lot to like about having plastic as opposed to metal build, because it does mean that you have a lighter weight handset, which at the end of the day, when you get into not the phablet, but a large handset like this, it is really nice to have something that is lightweight. So that pretty much covers the unboxing. Any questions or comments, please feel free to post them. And of course, as usual, please feel free to subscribe. Later.